Alright, so... Hi. Again. We're back. We're gonna read this really bad... Well, we assume it's bad. Actually, we don't know. Again.
It's
another
Twilight fanfiction, and the summary's not on this page. The summary caught our eyes for a reason that we will probably become clear pretty quickly.
This is called Third Tuesday. It's by author Like a Sunburn.
It's all one word, of course.
Like a sunburn.
Like sunburn. Today had just started out as one of those days. One of those days where from the moment that coherent thought had the nerve to make its annoying presence known, being ripped away from a dream involving Edward, a glass of lemonade, a private white-sanded beach, and little else of importance anyway. What? Was it on the west coast of Brazil? Well, I pretty much knew it was all going downhill from there.
In the 2 weeks since school let out for summer vacation, Charlie's newly acquired habit of checking on his daughter before he left out in the mornings.
Who does that?
While good-intentioned, was not exactly on Bella's top 10 favorites list of his traits. Most mornings she was able to raise her head for long enough to mumble out something loosely resembling, "I'm fine, Dad, bye," before falling face first back into the pillow for a couple of hours of post-6:15 a.m. sleep. Well, she's actually a normal teenager in this one. This morning, however, the mixture of his greeting and the deafening thunder rolling outside her bedroom window made returning to sleep a complete impossibility.
You weird, Bella. Thunder puts me to sleep.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's wonderful. Anyway, mid-morning found Bella in a considerably irritable mood, curled up in a quilt on the sofa with a book of short stories that her mother had sent back from the hospital in Phoenix with her. She had since decided her parents' worry and sympathy, if at times an annoyance, had managed to increase her at-home reading selection. That doesn't actually make any sense. Part of it does, but talk about really searching hard for a silver lining.
Angst!
Oh, your paragraph.
Bella!
Bella had no idea that she'd managed to doze off on the couch until the hurricane force of Edward's near-simultaneous frantic screaming of her name and freezing hands on either side of her face. Oh god, this is gonna be terrible. Jerked her mind to the present time and place.
Bella, what happened? Where are you hurt? Bella, can you hear me? Open your eyes.
Bella,
what?
Has Edward never run into a teenage girl? Or a girl older than 12 before in his life?
She fell asleep,
Whatever.
But right now he's just panicking because she's asleep.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, he says there's blood later.
Well, later. But right now, okay.
It's just like, Edward, where have you been?
Anyway, Edward's eyes were wide with utter panic as he knelt in front of the couch, looking even more white than usual. He was hurriedly... Andrew Wolfgram, hi. He was hurriedly looking over her face and arms, his hands reaching back to trace over the well-healed scars on the back of her head and neck. Okay.
So he's just, rubbing her?
Yeah. Are you alright?
She shook her head slightly to clear the drowsy haze from her mind, startled beyond belief by his sudden appearance in Onslaught. Not a sentence.
Strangest...
What? She finally managed, her forehead wrinkling in confusion.
Strangest use of the word onslaught ever.
In something that is not a sentence.
Edward, your onslaught startled me.
Also, he's like a hurricane.
The blood, Bella, Edward replied impatiently, still clearly in a panic state. He gently pulled her to her unsteady feet in a flash, supporting her weight while continuing to look her over for the source of her injury. I smelled it from outside the door. Oh, God.
Like a fucking dog.
He explained, frowning, not seeing any obvious sources right offhand. But this was Bella. But this was Bella. There was no limit to she might... Sorry. But this was Bella. There was no limit to she might have done to herself this time.
So, what? She hurts herself all the time? Okay.
Well, she's notoriously clumsy. God, I'm the Twilight expert, because I've actually read the book.
She jumped off a cliff once, It was her turn to frown, as Bella herself glanced down to look quickly at her hands and feet, confused. "I am fine," she told him, scowling deeply. She wasn't hurt anywhere to the best of her knowledge. "Are you sure your nose isn't having an off day?" "Edward, cut it out, I'm fine," she repeated to herself after he began checking the soles of her feet for glass. Like she wouldn't have noticed stepping on glass. "Edward!" she yelped out, falling backwards onto the sofa once more.
Edward's face was troubled. He knew what his senses telling him, and they were telling him that she was bleeding somewhere. The scent of her blood, fresh blood no less, had nearly knocked him down.
Oh, that is not fresh blood, girl.
Before he'd even entered the house, he had no idea what he'd expected to find as he busted the lock on Charlie's front door, not wasting time bothering the key.
You don't bother that key.
Yeah. This made no sense. Could she be internally injured? She looked normal enough. Was he losing his mind?
Their two-person scowl-off continued for a full... For a full minute. Two-person scowl-off is almost as good as three-way awkward silence.
Yeah.
Almost as good, but not as good. Until at once, Bella felt her stomach twist into a pretzel as the horrific realization had set in. Third Tuesday of the month, she moaned. What? It's not always... Pulling the quilt over her head, she could feel her face turning the color of your average passion pink Barbie dream car. Okay. As boiling waves of humiliation raced through every vein in her body.
Third Tuesday? Edward repeated, in no way following her. He reached over to pull the blanket from covering Bella's head. What's that supposed to mean? He asked. Her words and odd behavior made even less sense to him than the baffling, absolutely unnerving scent that still hovered so thickly around her.
This is just disturbing. Equal parts embarrassment, frustration, revulsion, and plain old crabbiness made Bella's glare in his direction particularly angry looking. Think about it, Edward. Yet I'm fucking added that. She said each of the words slowly as pointedly as possible. She watched for a moment as his disturbingly perfect face remained creased, lined with his obvious lack of understanding. And you've lived how long? She snapped. It's that time of the month. How long has this fucker lived? And he hasn't ever come across this phenomenon before.
That time, he stopped short of repeating the entire phrase. Which was
really
probably...
is a 17-year-old, my God.
He's just stuck in that mentality, too, apparently. Which was probably a good thing, because although he was already dead, his girlfriend might have killed him had he finished the thought aloud. Oh, Edward finally replied blankly, taking an unconscious step back. Oh!
I might catch it!
He repeated the word, as, finally, the full realization dawned on him. This was unexpected.
How is that unexpected? It should be very expected.
A sad thought, really, considering that his mentor was a doctor, and he himself had attended a number of years in various medical schools.
I guess you pay any attention.
Forgot. He's like...
He has?
Yeah, he's become a medical doctor like 5 times, because they just...
Why?
I don't know, go
Edward has? Why?
Yeah.
Why is he going to
What
high
else
school?
are you going to do? What else are you going to do when you're 17 forever?
Not be a doctor. Bella said nothing as she watched his apparent discomfort deepen as he searched for something to say.
Oh god, sorry. Well, that is natural, he mumbled, shifting his weight from leg to leg nervously. How could he not have thought about this before? He heard her snort irritably from her position on the sofa. He couldn't remember the last time he'd felt more like a bumbling, uncomfortable teenage boy. He took a deep breath, regretting it instantly. The omnipresent scent seemed to press in at him from every direction. How long did these things last again? I guess we should have discussed this particular... Edward fumbled for the word momentarily. Predicament, he finally finished. He dared to look up at her.
Bella had her dark brown eyes squinted tightly closed. Okay, I'm imagining that face. This conversation isn't happening, this isn't happening, this can't be happening, cycled through her mind over and over. She'd forgotten about her cycle being due in the flurry of all the recent traumas and dramas she found herself up in. Open.
Oh, didn't you?
And she thought that Charlie ending up with one of her bras in his sock drawer was bad.
So you'll be menstruating for approximately 3 to 5 days, then?
So you do know what it is. Bella made a noise of pure strangled agony and pulled the blanket back from her head. Please don't use that word, she begged. Oh my god, you're such a teenager. Her voice muffled from beneath the quilt. Menstruating, no one does that.
So I guess I'll see you on Saturday, then?
That did it. Bella removed the quilt from her head at once. What? Wait, hang on, that wasn't right. What? She asked slowly. He couldn't be serious. Do you mean to tell me that I'm not going to be able to see you whenever I'm on the on my period?
On the what?
On the rag, I guess? Why didn't you just say that? Oh, because you probably have to explain it to Mr. Dumbass here. At all, every month, she complained loudly, her voice raising a full octave by the time the question was completed. That's your full octave.
Don't be silly, Edward said in what he hoped would be a soothing manner. If you were to truly need something, then of course, we'll obviously have to see each other some, but being alone together during your time, he faltered over the word he wanted to use, isn't a good idea, Bella. It would leave me constantly distracted, on edge, and at the very least, I keep thinking you were injured. Because you figure it out once and you just... Oh my god, wait.
Oh my god.
Still.
Edward, remember the last 3 months?
It's best if I keep my distance until you are finished. He rushed out, hoping that his answer sounded rational. Cassie Molsky! Hi!
She can be with Andrew online.
Special. Delicate and with social grace. Delicate and with social grace were out of the question, given the subject matter at hand. Rational would have to do. She wasn't answering. Bad sign. Very bad sign. Her eyes looked glassy, hot tears beginning to pool up within them. Mad tears again. Mad, like insane, I hope. Bella, Edward said softly. Oh, Bella, Edward said softly.
Bella.
Apologetically.
Bella, this is my bad man.
He made his way slowly sit down. Don't split your infinitives.
Thus you're saying to boldly go.
He made his way to slowly sit down beside her on the couch, a feat that took some slow breathing and jaw clenching due to her current physical state. Okay, he doesn't have to breathe. Just put that out there.
You're dead, dude. Whatever.
But she shrugged away from his arm as he tried to wrap it around her shoulders in an attempt to comfort her.
Just one more thing that it's within your power to fix, she said, pouting. Her meaning was, as usual, headed in one direction.
What?
He wants the vampire thing. Because she's all
right.
like, turn into a vampire. Seeing his eyes cloud quickly from gold to a duller brown, his usual reaction to such comments, Bella rose quickly from the sofa. I'm going to go take a shower, Edward. I'll see you on Saturday. She griped, heading for the stairs in a huff without looking back at him again. Bella stomped up each stair as loudly as possible, grumbling under her breath the entire way.
Edward was left open-mouthed and flabbergasted on the sofa. He'd heard of mood swings, but sheesh! Human men handled this every month? Wonder if I should have mentioned Charlie's door. Oh, right, because it was broken.
Destroyed it.
Okay. Well,
okay,
that
so
was...
That was weird.
That was special.
I'm sure we made some really great faces.
Yeah. I really...
Yeah.
I find it really weird. Because Because I'm actually sitting right here.
Yeah, it's switched.
It's weird.
It's like mirrored.
Yeah, I know, and it's just really weird.
Except not mirrored.
Because I'm not across from myself.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay,
Anyway,
the story. Okay, it wasn't that badly written, I guess, except for the really random sentence fragments, which just happened out of nowhere.
And the fact that Edward had an onslaught.
Yeah, Edward was a hurricane-like onslaught. Edward is just a moron, apparently, which might be in character, I don't know.
I'm not sure.
How do you live for, 100+ years and not ever encounter this problem?
I'm not sure.
Because I'm pretty sure he spent time with humans a lot.
He's got a medical degree!
He must have been with humans. Unless he got it from, the zombie school, or the school where girls are not allowed.
You'd think they'd still talk about it, though.
Yeah, you'd think he would have learned about that, and then somehow thought, man, maybe I should, not be an idiot.
Anyway.
You'd think he should trust Bella enough to know that if she's not, freaking out, she's probably not bleeding heavily someplace.
No, because she's a Mary Jane.
Mary Sue?
Yeah, that. I call her Mary Jane. Well, Mary Jane she's slightly less generic than Mary Jane. I don't know. I made that up. I'm just trying to make myself not sound stupid. But it works.
Okay.
Anyway, on the plus side, I found a New Mexico quarter on my floor.
That's cool. That's definitely the best part of this.
Yeah. All right.
That and the onslaught.
Of Edward. I don't want an onslaught of Edward. Anyway.
Yeah, not really. Especially Edward being like, what is this thing that you do every month?
Shit, I like the part where he checked her feet for glass.
You totally wouldn't have noticed if you'd stepped on glass, right, Bella?
Of course not.
Even I think she's not that dumb.
She doesn't have a brain.
It's true, because he can't hear her thoughts. So that probably
that's
means that she doesn't have any.
Because I never finished to find out, because it just wasn't worth it.
I don't even know why I know that. Because I have not read these books, and I might someday, because they sound hilarious, but...
Don't. Just save yourself, dude.
Yeah, it's I think about doing it, and then I'm like, no, I've got about 500 actual good books I want to read first, so it'd be a waste of time.
Truth.
And I also don't want people to see me taking them out of the library.
Yeah, that's the worst. See, when there are books like that I have to read, I just make my sister check them out for me.
My sister would not do it.
Actually, my library has self-checkout, so...
Oh, well, that's cool. Mine does not. Well, now we're just rambling. So.
Yeah, so, choose.
Choose.
Gotta go this way. It's weird. I don't get it. Okay. That was also weird. Okay, bye.